Hey, welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. It is Thursday. It is noon. That means it's time for dispatching live load board search advice. We're going to be live with Sue at Murphy Auto Transport searching the load boards. So if you've got a load board search or a route you want us to check, please do put it into the live chat. Also, make sure you know that Auto Transport Intel goes live 4 times a week. Today is the third show of the week. Tomorrow we go live with Cars on the Move with Ty at noon. So let's go live with Sue and see what's going on. By the way, in case you're wondering why I've got a referee shirt and why there's a dartboard logo on the show, it's because this dart is the dart of dispatch knowledge. The load board is the dartboard, and our goal is to hit a bullseye. That's your goal. That's why you're here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, Bluebird. Saying hello, greetings to you as well, and please let us know what you're looking for. Ty, can you... No, Sue. Ty is tomorrow. Sue, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I get onto the track, and I just start talking
We're both
away.
fine.
Yeah, and I was running late today, too, so a little bit discombobulated, but I think we're up and running. And like I said, I don't even think the regular notification went out. So we're going to do our best. But Bluebird is here with us in the live chat. Please let us know if there's a route we can search for you. Otherwise, Sue, what are we doing today?
Well, we're going to start with the amount of loads. We're at 61,458. I think we were at 62 last week. Wasn't it 62 too? Something like that?
Yeah, 62, 63, something like that. That is great. I mean, that's still good. We're still above average, would you say?
Well, yeah. We're way, way above average.
All right, cool. Awesome. Hey, Rainey Hammond is with us also. All right, so now you always have drivers moving, and Joseph McCleary is here. He says, hey, Jay and Sue, my load board cheat sheet, no subscription needed. Oh, that's so cool, man. That is so cool. Yes.
If
Yeah.
nobody has a route, I have a driver we can look for.
Okay, awesome. Let's do that. So, why don't we search one of your drivers until somebody puts up something in the live chat? Again, we encourage you. There's a couple things we want you to do. Number one, we want you to let us know what load board search advice tips could you use, whether you're a carrier or a dispatcher, and also what route are you searching? Is there anything we can do to help you look? So we want to do that. That's the point, and that's why we're live on Central Dispatch with Sue.
Okay, so we're looking for DSK, which I think is Danny B, if I'm not mistaken, when he's on the chat with us.
Awesome.
So he's going to be in Charlotte, probably more like Saturday. He's coming from Little Rock. We're going to he likes me to find him together. He's only a 3-car. So I'm going to start out of Charlotte with a minimum of 2, just to kind of see what's on the load board. And as usual, we got our highlights at the top in the last hour. That's the green bar for everybody. Let's see what we got. All right. Well, he has a couple in-ops up there. I'm not doing that. I'm looking for a long haul, keep him busy.
When's he picking up?
Be there on Saturday. So honestly, I think we'll probably run out of hours at the end of the day Saturday. So either I can do one or two things. I can take a long haul where we end up there on Monday, Tuesday, or we can take a short haul where we can end up on Monday someplace and reload. These 3 to Glasgow aren't bad. I haul for this guy quite a bit. Actually, not Harlan. Why do I have a feeling? Hold on a second.
Is it a transporter?
Yeah, I think so. And I bet you he took this guy's loads and listed them. Yes, he is. I know who this guy is in Glasgow. I'm very tempted to call him and let him know what's going on. Okay, that's a reminder for later. That's a big no-no. I guarantee this guy thinks he's hauling his car for him. All right. So
hey, pause. Tip number 1: look and see what the load is, who you're hauling for, understand the transport before you call to book it. Even if you like the money, know what this is. What is this?
Because here's the thing. there's a dealership in Glasgow. He always lists his own cars. I have a 10 car that stays in that lives in the Charlotte area, Statesville area, and I take these loads all the time for him. It would be very odd that this isn't for this guy, and this guy took them and listed them, is my guess, because this guy always pays premium rates, and 52 cents a mile and 60 cents a mile is not what he pays. So I think that's what's going on. So I'll deal with that here in a little bit, and I'll call my contact over there.
And so disclaimer is, here's a disclaimer. We're not saying that, we're for sure 100% that we know something, but we're sniffing it out. As a dispatcher, as a carrier, you must sniff it out, but you know this, know the broker and the shipper is sniffing out the carrier, so sniff back.
Well, and on top of it, I mean, I try to prevent this kind of stuff from happening. I find it all the time, so just so everybody knows, I turn it in because I don't think it's fair. And if it's not, so be it. But I have a sneaking suspicion that it is. Well, this is where I always pick up.
And that's what's so frustrating, is that dispatchers are fair game for criticism and all this stuff. What about carriers?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Come on.
He doesn't have a broker on. He shouldn't be listing these. Even if he was listing them for that dealership, he should not be listing them because he is not a broker.
Well, and by the way, is there any way to verify whether or not he has a broker's license?
Yeah, right there. He's a carrier.
Right,
if he was a broker, it should say carrier/broker.
What if he's a broker carrier, but he forgot to post broker?
I doubt it. He's been on there since 2016.
And devil's advocate only goes so far. So, yeah. All right, let's turn the page so that we don't end up in some kind of weird hot water. We're keeping it right. We're keeping it real, right. But we also understand reality, and we're just trying to help.
Okay, so this is what we got going on. I kind of like this. And Auction Direct lets people haul for them all the time. So I may take this right here.
That is good.
And then find one to go with it.
So
that's paying really good.
In Manheim, Statesville, that's a good pickup location, right?
Yeah, and they had closed down on Saturdays. Now everybody's back open on Saturdays, so we can pick up.
That's awesome.
Plus, do you have a car puller there?
Do you still
get them pulled?
There is a car. Do you still call ahead, or has that eased up a little?
No, we always verify everything.
I mean,
it doesn't matter if I know people there or not.
But you don't need an appointment at the gate with the gate pass, do you? No.
No, as long as you have the gate passes on all of these anymore. And in fact, you know how they were doing where you had to walk in with a gate pass? They've lessened up on that too. Most of them will come for you at the guard.
Well, I'm sure it was a pain. In fact, when you say car puller, so just here's another pro tip, is that obviously when you're a dispatcher, part of the reason they hired you is because you're going to call ahead and verify every vehicle's actually ready for pickup. You're going to make sure you have your gate passes for any auction pickup. And you're going to make any phone calls you need to make. Make more phone calls than you need to make. Am I right? Do you make more phone calls than you need to?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All the time.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to have Jen call and get this load for my guy right now.
Yeah, that's a guy. I like it. I like it.
Could I have those dispatched over to me then, sir?
Let's see. It's quick pay. It's ready for pickup. Gate pass should be ready.
Yep. And as long as she sends me the gate pass. Auction Direct is really great. They pay right away.
Nice.
I've never had any problems with them whatsoever. I highly recommend that broker. ABDS.
Final piece. What do you think it's going to? That's going to a dealer, right? It's got to be.
It's going to a dealer.
Yeah.
Manheim's a dealer.
So, and a lot of times, I like the flexibility with dealerships and delivery in most cases.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a question. Keep while you're looking.
Sure.
Randy wants to know, do you use Dispatch Monkey? Now, I'm going to help you with the answer. You say it again?
I don't.
Exactly. And that's the answer. And that's the answer that I was going to give too. Here's the thing. I like Dispatch Monkey. I'm going to go ahead and go to the screen. I like Dispatch Monkey as a technology. Okay, I really do. But as a dispatcher, I don't need it because my job is to just really stare at load boards and know what's happening. if you're a carrier and you're driving half the time, something like Dispatch Monkey as a technology can help you because you don't have that kind of time.
Right.
And that's part of the difference. Dispatch Monkey is to help you replace the fact that you don't have a dispatcher. Does that make sense? So I like the technology, but as a hardworking dispatcher, probably don't use it. Just saying.
Well, and my other problem with it is that when you use it, it may have your spread of pickups and deliveries like hundreds of miles apart, and you know, and I know you can't do that.
Well,
so with ELD,
here's I truly believe this. I want to say this. I truly believe that if you're a carrier and you don't believe in any other personnel, you know, there are some carriers that are like, I'm doing everything. If you're one of those carriers, Dispatch Monkey can help you because you can you can tweak it and set it and then keep doing your thing. And it actually will help you. So, here's another question. I want to say this too. Master Money 1001 asks, weekend work, what's best? Now, I could use a little clarification, but isn't it better to run during the weekdays than the weekends?
Yes. The main reason is there's a lot of places, especially still now, actually I don't want to text you, that you cannot pick up on the weekends, drop on the weekends. So you may run into times when, I mean, normally you're going to set Sunday anyways, unless you're driving over that time.
Exactly.
But most of the time, it's going to be difficult with what's going on to pick up and deliver on a weekend. I do have a driver that's to test this theory this weekend. Right now.
Well, there will always be a driver testing the theory. But yes. Between ELD restrictions and people's personal lives, including Sunday, weekends. And what happens is, I've known carriers that try to do most of their work on the weekends, and I think that's a dangerous game.
I think so too. Because, well, and for the same reasons, you don't know if a place is going to be open. You may get stuck, and then you waste your ELD hours because once you start, you're going. They're already gone.
And when carriers get stuck, everybody loses their mind. It's
yes.
Oh, amen.
Yeah. Jen's like, amen.
So honestly, most of our drivers
penalty.
Most of our drivers go home every weekend. They're usually home on Saturday or Friday, and they go back out on Monday. So, you know, it just, oh man, there's a good one too.
Oh yeah, there we go.
So the 2-pack was gone, by the way, out of Statesville.
Those two are gone?
Yeah, they're already gone.
Oh, don't you hate that? Well, see, but you know what? Okay, so I'll tell you what. Here's a pro tip. When you miss a load, while you feel the sting and disappointment that you didn't get the load, you can also celebrate that you were right.
Why are you right?
Because it was a good load, and that's why it's already gone. Yeah. Now, you can't, nobody else wants to hear your celebration, but personally, you can go, I picked a good load, and it's gone. You know, you can even sing. I don't think people sing in this job, but I know I did in the office. Hey, FNS Trucking says weekends are for your family. You have to maintain the balance. There you go. See, it is, and this is that is a really good point, FNS. This is a family-centric industry, so you have to recognize that.
Yes, and they hardly get enough time with their families anyway, so you gotta have your weekends off.
Exactly. Sunday's the only day you get sometimes.
Yeah, really, that's truly the truth there.
It is true.
And that's supposed to be the real D time down anyway, so. Let's see.
Plus, I'll bet with COVID, some companies are probably declaring like clean days. And I don't know what days those are, but anyways, just trying to really like do things and get there at the finish line. Like, you know how normal things are. You'll have a driver like going 90 to get to the Copart before 5 o'clock. Right. I don't think you can do that so much right now.
No, because you can't slide in.
You got to get your mask on, and so you just got to be careful.
Well, and I know even if a dealership is open on the weekends, what I have found that they're only staying open until like 12, 1 o'clock. So that's not going to help you either. And then and don't get me wrong, most of the Manhattans are back open for right now, and the Odessas, but not all of them are doing that. So you have to make sure you call ahead. You got to make sure that you can get that guy out of there on a weekend too, because like Jay said, they don't want to sit. I don't blame them. It's money. So I just always recommend, unless they're a big car hauler and they want to stay out for a couple weeks at a time, or they have no family, so they want to stay out for a couple weeks at a time, which happens, then you get them home on the weekends. They'll be a much happier driver if you do that. Let's just put it that way.
Here's a good question. Joseph McCleary. Okay. Since dispatchers like Sue pride herself on being able to negotiate higher load prices, also that was part of what I prided myself on as well, then posted.
Right.
Okay. And that potentially offsets the dispatch commission. What percent of the time can I expect that 5 to 10% increase? So how often can a carrier expect the dispatcher to be able to cover their own percentage cost?
Well, okay, but you can't just think about us like asking for more money. It's not just about asking for more money. It's the fact that we're sitting in here hour after hour all day long, whereas a driver can't do that. A driver will have to stop, sit, try to find the loads. They usually don't verify them. They'll show up and find out that the car wasn't there, never was there, was picked up by somebody else. So that's cost them, we'll just say 2 days right there, looking for loads, booking the loads, showing up for the load, and it's not there, then having to recover. So as far as I'm concerned, even if we don't get an increase on the money, we are still probably gaining you 20 to 25%, I would say minimum, because you're not taking a day, how many times a week, to look for your own loads. So you have to look at it that way too. We're saving you money in the long run because you're running the whole time.
I think that's a fantastic point. One of the things that happens very often is when we first hear of a service, we want to know, the immediate ROI. We also know in life, and especially in logistics, that anything like preventative cost is a real value. And in fact, insurance unfortunately falls in this, and that's why you can't see the value of insurance until you have an accident. Well, in dispatching, the value of all those phone calls can be priceless, because just one phone call that you didn't make to the POV customer to pick up their car, they didn't get the phone call, and they went and got their hair done all day, and now they're not home. And you show up, you thought the car was ready to go, you're ready to pick it up, and they're nowhere near the house, and now they're mad. One phone call could have cleared all that up.
Yeah.
And how much did that phone call cost you? Well, I don't know, $20? 25?
Right.
It's amazing. The power of the phone call.
It really is.
But a great question, Joseph. I really like that. Because I like to talk about the value brought in ways that isn't so obvious.
Yeah, because I've literally had like potential people call and say, okay, so on Mondays, this is what he tells me. On Mondays, I sit there and I spend the whole day getting my loads together. And then I drive on Tuesday. And then I have to find loads again on Wednesday.
Right.
Say, okay, so instead of doing that, then you would have been running already Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And so you paid me whatever percentage, but you lost 2 days worth of work. So I guarantee you I overdid whatever you lost those 2 days. Well, and he totally understood when I put it like that to him.
And there are carriers, and there's somebody right now losing a day driving looking for loads.
Yeah, at least a day.
There's no way the dispatcher...
Right now, bad.
And there's no way the cost of a dispatcher is more than the money you lost sitting around today.
Absolutely. Because on average, like a 3-car should make, $1,000 to $1,200 a day, running 500 miles, you know what I mean? And if he spent that whole day finding loads, then he lost that money. And I guarantee you, my little percentage I charge at the end of the week is nowhere near $1,200. So,
and I don't know how much peace of mind costs, but I don't think it's 9%.
No, I don't think it is either. Because we also put them in,
Anyway.
we put them in pickup order and delivery order too. So all they got to do is set it all up on their GPS and just drive to those places. So that saves them time and money too.
And the reality is, anything anybody does takes a little bit of sales and insight into the value they add. A broker will explain to the car shipping customer the value that they're adding and get them to pay for that value. And that's why when a carrier gets upset that somebody else took a percentage, well, they did some sales work that you didn't do. So, I mean, I know this is a touchy subject because I believe carriers should get the bulk of the money. They're the ones with the assets. I mean, that's the most expensive part of the transport. It's not the phone call. It's running the truck. So I see all sides. That's why I'm so conflicted.
Because I'm also a broker too, so I get it.
All right.
I get a lot of drivers too. They're mad because, like, a broker. There's some brokers out there that are shady. They take as much as you get paid sometimes. So.
And yes, there are, and there clearly are shady people in every line of work.
Absolutely.
I don't know if anybody's got a monopoly on that.
No, that's true.
Unfortunately.
All right, I'm gonna.
Yeah. All right. So here. Oh, hey. You know what? Let's do this. It's 12:20. Let's take a quick break. If you are not familiar with Murphy Auto Transport Services, watch this.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verification of loads when nobody answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years of experience in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021. Or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
And welcome back to Auto Transport Intel Dispatching Live. It's Thursday. It is noon Central Time. We're live with Sue. If you guys have any questions about dispatching, please put it in the live chat. Or if you're watching later, go ahead and comment below. Please remember to watch and read the video descriptions. There's lots of helpful links to load boards, etc. Let me know if you have a question. You know I've got a lot of dispatching videos. I used to be a dispatcher. Now let's go live with Sue.
Well, that 2-pack didn't work out. I didn't really see anything else that's going to work as a 2-pack. So I'm just going to put in some of the states that I know that he will go to out of Charlotte. We're going to kind of cruise through here and see what's on this board because there was a lot that I had to change the parameters because there's so many loads on here. So,
okay.
Which is not a bad thing to have happen,
well,
obviously.
Oh, man, you know what? I got to get some Yahtzee dice. You know what? Because sometimes you have to just put the dice back in the thing and shake them up.
What do we got? Well, wow. Now they put this up. I already got one going to Kansas City. Gosh. That's the way it works. Okay. The Charlotte to Dayton, Ohio ain't too bad there for 86 cents a mile. What else we got?
FNS Trucking says, have your wife dispatch for you. See how long she'll do it without getting paid.
It's not even about being paid. I get a lot of drivers because they say their wife and them can't get along.
Well, that's why I said makes for a real fun date night.
Why did you get me this piece of crap load? Is that what it is?
Oh, man. It's true. And that's the thing. That's another thing, so I'd love to know the statistics on how many people think that a family member can just pick up and do it. It's a lot.
Well, see, these aren't too bad. We could do West Northwest with Little Rock.
Anything can be learned. North Carolina to Arkansas, yeah, that's looking pretty interesting. And now Hickory, isn't that in Odessa?
Hickory, no. Hickory is probably a dealer because it's backlot cars and almost everything they do are backlots.
Right, okay.
But look at, okay, so Brewster's, it's got to be the same car, and they've listed it twice because one's at 650, one's at 600.
Yep.
I know they're different numbers, but
double listed. Yellow card.
It's
careful.
It's the same company though. I think they're just not paying attention to what they did.
Yeah.
So
could be.
Let's
wait. Now look at that. Reference ID is off by the first digit.
Yeah. I think someone just screwed up.
Someone made a mistake.
All right. I want
so
50.
So we're gonna give them a break.
Yes. Let's look. I'm gonna take us just do this real quick. So once you find something you like, you want to kind of narrow this down a little bit, obviously. So we're going to do to Memphis first and make sure there's nothing else going to Memphis. So to get backlot cars, you go request them on Super Dispatch. And you can get loads from them, whether you have Super Dispatch or not, just so you know, you just got to call it in. They will send it through Super Dispatch. They ask for you to use it. It's a temporary thing, but you can do it. So, yeah, look, we got all fours, got one in Charlotte for $575 to Memphis. We've got these two. That's a 3-pack right there. Nothing's huge. And we can't do China Grove on a Saturday because China Grove is co-parked.
Okay, that's, yeah. Again, know your zip codes and cities as best as you can. Yeah. I mean, here, how did you do that? You saw China Grove, and you saw the broker, right?
Yeah.
That kind of, right?
Yeah. Well, once you get familiar where you're running, and this is what I always recommend, you always write down like what days the auctions are on Copart and IA for the major cities you go through, so you know, because that's usually the days the loads are going to come up. And then also you're aware of, you know, if Statesville comes up, that's Mannheim. There's an Odessa in Charlotte. There's also an IAA in Charlotte. I know all four is not going to be an IAA. That's usually Odessa, or that's going to be a dealer for all four. Some of this is just because I've been doing this so long, so I know who the broker is.
But like a 2019 Ford Transit van is probably not at an IAA.
No.
And if it is, look out.
Yeah. So if I wanted loads right here, I would probably go in here. So what you do is you go to the load board, which
okay, cool. So you can go to Super Dispatch and look for backlot cars loads?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me get into the right account.
So and hold that thought, Bluebird. We're going to come to you. We are. And if anybody has a question, please post it. But right now, Sue is going to the Super Dispatch dashboard, load board, to check on. You always want to, if you know that the load that's posted on Central was also posted on like a primary load board, where Central Dispatch is the secondary load board. You want to go to that primary load board and make sure the load is still there, and that's also where you're going to book it.
Okay, hold on. We're having glitches here.
Okay. It could be they've been storing them at Copart. Ah. Well, and that's, you know what, Carlos, I'm glad you said that. This is where, as a dispatcher, talking to your carrier many times a day is key. Let's go to that. This is a pro tip. Talk to your driver. Talk to the carrier, because they're the boots on the ground. They can either confirm, verify, or deny the assumption you made by what you saw on the load board. Let's say you see something, you leave a voicemail, and you don't know exactly what it is, you're guessing. Check with your carrier, talk to him, because he may know. Okay, that's what this is. So be sure to get in that huddle. Huddle with your carrier. Still doing that.
I just lost power.
All right. So, all right, so that's okay. We got technical difficulty on the screen side. That's okay. We'll be right back. Here's what I'm going to do. Bluebird, and Bridget says I'm just starting out. Okay, hang on one sec. Bluebird, Bluebird says, if you're dispatching 2 to 5 trucks, I'll tell you what. You know what I can do? Check this out. Watch this. Let's do the pop out of the chat. Grab the code. Watch this. Like, Jay, I can't see anything. You will in a second. Hang on 1 second. Watch this. Bing! Okay. So, Bluebird says, if you're dispatching 2 to 5 trucks, you're centered across the Midwest and I-40, what are the best markets to search on and the best brokers to start with? It's an interesting question. It is an interesting question. And what I want to do is, Sue is searching. Are you still searching that load?
Yeah, there's only one left, so I don't want to do that either because I'm not doing it unless I can.
So here's what's good. And go back to that load board real quick. What Sue did, remember we were talking about primary load board, secondary load board. When you see something like backlot cars, you know you need to check the super load board. Sue did that, and what did you find out? They're not all there anymore, huh?
No, there's only one here from Hickory to West Memphis where there was 2, so I'm not going to do that.
Check this out. Very important key pro tip. There's 1 on super load board. Now click on central dispatch.
There's 2.
And there's 2, which means that one of them was already booked from super load board, which is where the loads actually exist. So if you're looking at central only, and then you talk to your carrier and everyone's high-fiving and getting ready, guess what? They're not both available anymore. Don't make that mistake. In fact, what I did is down in the video description below this video, it's not there right now because we're live, but after this video processes, you'll see in the video description, and you'll see it on the other Dispatching Live videos, is there are links to those load boards you need to check before you celebrate and high-five and make sure that load is still really available. Get all the information you need about the load. So do that. Got to do that.
The only thing that's really odd about this one is because they're linked to Central. If this part, that second one was gone, it shouldn't be on there. It should automatically come on.
Well, so there's it's either a technical it's either a technical issue, an error, or I don't know, maybe it just happened.
Yeah, I mean, because I use Super Dispatch to list my cars too. So if I dispatch it to somebody, it automatically comes off of Central. So I would say there's a glitch someplace in there.
But here's the question. I know, and I would love to get verification of this, but how is Central Dispatch load board code? Nah, it's a coding question. I can't get involved. I don't know.
Well, see, like, I get a code from Central that goes on to my listings through Super. So it's some kind of code, you're right. And that way it links it to the right person.
But does the Central Dispatch load board code update like constantly? I don't know. Maybe.
It's good because like it refreshed.
I guess when you book it off, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. All right, so here, let's do this. Let's go into Bluebird has a question. I want to hear your opinion. All right.
Okay.
She says, if you're dispatching 2 to 5 trucks, that's good. 2 to 5 is the right number. And you're centered across the Midwest and I-40. So it sounds like she's, in our region. What are the best markets to search on and the best brokers to start with? So let's break that apart. Best markets, best brokers. We'll talk brokers in a second. Markets.
Okay. Markets, what do you think she means by markets? Like areas?
And I like the question because she's trying to understand how this all works. And the answer is, what I think the answer is going to be Bluebird. Number 1, start with Central Dispatch. That is the number 1 load board. It's where most of the loads are posted. And again, and starting with a load board's good because you're not ready to talk to dealerships and all that stuff. So you start with your load board, you start with Central Dispatch, and by the way, Bluebird, you do not need, here we go, I'm going to go into, you do not need your own Central Dispatch account. You use the accounts of the carriers you're dispatching for. Now, I realize somebody just jumped out the window based on what I just said. Don't worry about that. It's because a dispatcher works for a carrier. And so you're booking for them. You don't need your own account. So when you get a carrier to say, log into my account, look for loads for me, and then That's what you're doing. You're looking either on what they think their route already is, or maybe you're looking at other routes that you think might make money. Which brings us to, and I don't have it. I don't have my weather. I don't have my load board weather map. But there are some places where you can make more money.
Right.
True?
Right. You're signed up, yeah, with different load boards. So, for example, if we're going to talk about other load boards, you can use ACV. They'll let you sign up if you're brand new. Like right now, I think they have a butt ton of loads on here. Hold on, let's go look. They've had like 2,000 loads a day for the last several days, which is a lot of loads for them. Sometimes they only have 30, so I know that will tell you how many loads there are on. Also, ACV does not list all of their cars on Central. They put everything on their load board until they can't get it moved, then it goes to Central. So if you don't watch that load board, you're never going to know. So right now they got 1,143 loads on it. You can change it. I always do by pickup state because it's easier to see that way. Let's see.
One of the things that Sue's pointing out right now is you want to get used to looking at all the load boards. Again, be sure to watch. Here's what you do. You can go to YouTube and you can type in, I'm going to share the link in the live chat, but if you don't see the live chat, you can go to YouTube, type in top 12 load boards. If you type in top 12 load boards, up comes my video, top 12 car hauling load boards, and watch this video, and it is chock full of load board information here. Top 12 car hauling load boards video.
These are all the loads out of North Carolina they've got on here. And some of them may be listed on Central, but I would guess.
Are we frozen? Is the stream frozen?
Is my screen frozen?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Do you see my ACV board?
No, I see you. You're good. Keep going. I don't believe it. I think we're fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask the audience, is the stream? Keep going.
Let's see. So this is their loads out of North Carolina because that's where the guy I got is. And just so you can see, they pay very well. This is their load rates. This is their mileage. It's kind of handy to tell you all this stuff, but I don't really see anything I can use out of this. But this is one of the load boards I recommend. Like I said, it's free. They'll sign you up right away. You just got to send them your cert, your information, your W-9, and you're done. Now, the other, you can get on Dispatch Center too, but that's mainly because the loads are listed on Central. You cannot call for Holly, which is United Road, for 6 months. Oh, and yes, okay, we need to discuss wholesale, Jay.
Yes.
Wholesale Express. So, Wholesale Express had a deal where you could not haul for them unless you've been in business for a year and you had to have 50 ratings in the last 6 months. We talked to them today, and Jen explained to them the situation in the world today, and they said, yes, we've changed our policies. So now you can sign up for them. Go do it. Go do it now. Because I guarantee you it will change back again. So anyways, you got to just have 20 ratings. They'll send you a carrier packet. You fill it out online. You send them your insurance cert, W-9, and you're done, and you can haul for wholesale. They pay usually, don't get me wrong, not everybody has great rates, but most of the time these guys will have good rates. They also do lots of multi-packs. They're their own customer. So a lot of times you're picking up cars for them to bring to them in Tennessee. And sometimes they pay very, very well. So I recommend, if you are not signed up with them because of that, go do it today. We signed up all the rest of our drivers today, because it's been a real pain not being able to haul for them. Because a lot of times in the areas we're at, they do Midwest.
What did they say their minimum is? It's usually 100 ratings. What is it right now?
It's only 20 ratings.
Whoa!
So you have to go get
Whoa!
Yeah.
First
they
down.
have seen the light.
That's awesome, man.
So
only 20 ratings minimum right now.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Because you got to be signed up with every broker and load board you can get, especially in the early days. So that is a big deal.
That you can see. This is Wholesale Express. They're based out of Tennessee, Nashville area. So
Yeah, and actually, I found a link online. If you go to wholesaleexpress247.com and click on carriers, and there's a form to fill out.
I know. Oh, sweet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's even better.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to call them.
That is amazing.
So,
well, it's better to call. It's always good to make phone calls, even though we have technology. If you can get a load with clicking a button, that's awesome. But once you get the load, you're still gonna have to make some phone calls.
Right. I did my first dispatch center load the other day through a new.
Awesome. How did it go?
Yeehaw. Well, it wasn't nothing to do with dispatch center. A new had double brokered the same truck I already had.
Okay. Yeah. It was the broker.
And they had listed they had it listed as F350. I already had a 3500 GMC out of the same place after I got all the information. And I'm like, I can't take either one of these now because I was taking them as a 2-pack because they were really big trucks. And because he's only a 3-car. And I was just going to go with the 2 because they were both paying $1.27 a mile. So yeah, we can do that, right? And I had to cancel them both because I can't go without, I can't take one. I got to have more than that, and there was nothing else going that way.
No, you can't.
So that was.
So are you saying that it was was it your phone call and detective work that revealed the information about the second big truck?
Yeah, it was because what happened was the first broker that sent me the load, of course, sent it to me with no pickup information, no delivery information, just that it was an it was a GMC 3500. So in the meantime, I took the F350 from a new, which I had all the information. Then he sends me all of a sudden, I finally get the broker information on the GMC 3500, and that's when I find out same VIN, same truck, same everything. So yeah,
amazing.
You have to be detective. It is part dispatching, part detective work. Usually.
It really is. Hey, here's what we're going to do. It's so true. Detective work is what it's all about. We're going to be right back. Dispatcher to driver. Do you wish that you had somebody else helping you look for loads? You're looking for somebody to just watch those routes and get the really good stuff, right? You want a dispatcher to watch a load board during those times where you can't, because that's what you're looking for. You're looking for somebody to help you make sure you stay loaded. And all we do is sit at computers, look at load boards, and make phone calls. That's what we do. Hey, did you know about the Truckify links on Central Dispatch? Central Dispatch is like, doing what? No, they probably already know. So if you go in the reference ID, now there are hyperlinks. Copy and paste that into your browser. Book it, negotiate, get it while it's hot with Truckify. You are watching Auto Transport Intel dispatching live on Thursdays at noon Central Time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do remember to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. And if you're watching this on demand, check the video description below. There's all kinds of helpful links. We're glad you're with us. Please, if you have a question about dispatching, whether you're a dispatcher, carrier, you want to talk about it, Sue also has a broker's license. So if you have a broker in question, maybe you're a car shipper, you just want to know something, you stumbled onto this page, you're in the right place. We're talking car shipping. Let's go live with Sue staring at the load boards. Okay. I heard, what did you say we need to talk about?
We need to talk about this so everybody's aware. Okay, I love CarsArrive. They usually pay very well. As you can tell, these were paying very good.
Give me a Control plus. Bring that. Let's make that a little bigger. Please.
There you go.
Sue's going to make the screen a little bit larger so you can see it because it looks a little small.
Okay. Can you see that or more? That?
Yeah, there we go. Good.
Okay, so I took these 3 vehicles. They're all picking up out of Odessa, Memphis, going into McGregor, Texas. They came up last night. Here's the thing you have to watch with, and anything that comes from CarsArrive out of an auction. I will show you what it is. So, say you take the load, okay, and you have to go to View Notes. View Notes is where they keep all their release forms. All right, so this is what happened last night. I took these loads for my driver to pick up today. Do you see where it says in transit to?
Oh no. What?
Right. They're
What?
notorious for listing cars that are not there on a regular basis if they're at Mannheim's or Odessa's. I have this happen all the time. But a lot of people don't catch this in red. And if you don't verify anything, you're going to show up and that car is not there. Well, none of these cars are there. So I'm going to have to cancel. And
That
don't get me wrong.
blows.
Yeah, that blows big time. But because I know how this works with them,
Whoa.
I was not guaranteeing myself that low, just so you know.
Whoa.
But yeah, and they're still not there.
Whoa.
We've called several times today.
All right. I'm giving a red card. I'm giving, and you just got benched. That is terrible. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't know at Odessa when these vehicles are going to arrive.
Well, no.
If
they
you
don't know.
call CarsArrive, they're just going to cancel the loads, just so you know. They do not do any detective work. They will not call to find out where they're at. The only other option I have is to call the place it's going to, and I guarantee you he has no idea either. I'm just looking for the loads.
No, there's only one person that knows, and that's the person that typed it in there. It's probably the guy that still has the vehicle. He's the one that knows.
Right, probably, and wherever they're coming from.
That is unbelievable. That is, I'm glad. Thank you, Sue. Thank you so much. Sue is a real gem. In fact, Bluebird asked, great info, Sue. How did you break into brokering? Is what Bluebird wants to know. We're going to talk about that soon. But I want to say this is that this is what makes car shipping logistics so difficult. Is that to anybody sitting in a computer, it's just yeah, it's not there yet. But for the driver that showed up to pick it up, it's a world of pain.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we may send this guy to Kansas City.
Yeah?
I got stuff. Victory Chrysler Dodge. I just worked with him the other day. He will come up on prices. He didn't like it much, but he did do it for me. Looks like he's got Statesville, Lenore, and I swear to you, I just saw him have another one. Let's just do this. Let's go from Charlotte to Kansas City and see. Actually, I like to do Kansas and Missouri because sometimes you can pick up stuff that drops to Columbia that pays more than, and you go right along there.
Now, watch this. Sue is doing a live search right now. She's doing a 100-mile circle around Charlotte. And what are you choosing as your delivery spots? She's got a 60-cent.
I'm going to Kansas and Missouri. I don't know. Yeah, I got $400 minimum, 60 cents a mile.
Nice.
Okay, so he's got one in Greensboro, right there.
Ooh.
See, then so we may be picking up in 3 places, but we're going to end up dropping.
Exactly.
In the same place.
And then on the map, Charlotte, Greensboro. You could put Greensboro with Charlotte, right?
I'm going to run. Charlotte and Greensboro. This works better because as you're going out, you're going to hit Lenore. But I'm going to run this here, and we're going to see if we can hit Lenore.
Exactly. Lenore's on the way out. Pro tip: always check the map.
See, look. So I said there might be something better because you can go Springfield way instead. Okay, this one's paying $825.
Nice.
However, Right Way won't let anybody new haul. But as we all know, everybody's changing their mind on that because of what's going on.
Right,
so
it's so competitive.
Call and do that too. Yeah.
Right. Anybody that doesn't know that supply is up, which means brokers are negotiating.
Yes, they are. And look, we could even just take them into Springfield. Mays Automotive has 2 out of Statesville going to Aurora as well.
Nice.
So I like to go with the most money per mile, obviously. So let's see. Okay, so there's some good stuff going to St. Louis too. So let's take a gander. So what you can do then is I go to check the check loads that we're looking at. Okay. So now we're going to go and run this mileage and see what we end up with. We're going to try Kansas City first, and then we're going to turn it around, and we're going to do the Springfield run instead to see what we got. 2867. So always have a Google map up for you because you're going to use it on the regular. And we're going to say 27407. 28645.
Where's that?
And
Not
28687.
Missouri.
So, and we're going to go to 66111.
And what
He's
I would
starting
do
in
with
Charlotte.
that dealer with 2 separate pickups, I would ask for more money.
Oh yeah, I'm going to ask him for
Exactly.
$50 more on each one. So we're going to start in Charlotte, which is our Statesville, we'll say, is what he would do next. But look, if we do that, we go to Greensboro and then hit this one on the way out, which it looks like we can do that. It looks like we're talking about
Right.
1,140 miles.
By cutting off Charlotte, that helps.
Well, he's
Or-
already in Charlotte, so we're going to come up.
Oh, he's already in
way.
Charlotte. Okay.
Yeah, so he's going to go to Statesville, Greensboro, and then hit this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so we're looking at 1,114. We're wanting to make him at least $2 a mile. I don't know if that's there. Let's see. We got us. He's paying 7. Oh, wrong one. We're paying 7, 7, and 7. So we're only at 2,100. We're short about $128. If I ask him for $50 more on each one, I'm in the money. So, bingo, Django. I probably will call him about that one. Actually, he's a texter, and see if he'll do it. And then he would be loaded for Saturday because all those places will be open on Saturday.
See now, right on, and there's the kicker is that he can make good money and pick up Saturday, and all this work you just did, I don't know either. So either you're losing time driving, or you're almost about to wreck while you're doing this.
Right. Exactly. So on the flip side, let's
Just
run
saying.
the Springfield thing here and see what comes up for us. Now, Maze does not like to come up on money, just so everybody knows.
Right,
But
gotta
still
know.
gonna-
Yep.
And I'm really curious, if you look at this, why does this say, this tells you there's something wrong with Central, by the way. See how it says 860 miles here and 906?
Oh,
It's
look
the
at
same-
that.
Oh, I know what they did.
Oh,
Maze has put in the wrong zip code, is what they've done. That's why. They're at the same place though. Okay, so we're just
Okay.
gonna take one of the zip code, 027, and we're gonna do the 6.
that's nice, man. Same pick, same drop. That is pretty cool. But
and Concord is just a little bit north, so let's see what that does to our mileage. All right, so we got 28625. That's the real zip code. 28027. And we're going to go to...
you see a car picking up in St. Louis, and then it says actually located in Kentucky.
Yeah, they do that all the time. Montway does it.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Almost
Yay.
every time. Almost every time. Fine, I said it.
Yay.
All right, flag on the play, Jay. Can't believe you said that. Unbelievable.
All right, so we're at 991 miles on this one. We're not going to come close to this, I don't think. 1,200. And
Allegedly.
Oh, wait.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay. We could do this. We're in the money. We're over $43. So we're over $2 a mile.
Oh,
Here's the
good.
difference. Why you would do one over the other.
Okay.
Getting out of Springfield is a real pain in the butt.
Yeah.
So, and usually Springfield loads are either going to take you to Texas, Tennessee, or nowhere because they're not on it. So I would probably instead recommend doing this if I could get him up on the money, just because Kansas City is going to be way easier to get out of than coming out of Springfield. So let me
Look at
text
that.
this guy really quick.
Text only Ron, yeah. Ron, we can get all 3 if you'll do...
Yep. Send message.
What do you say? 2,300?
Hey, Ron, you have 3 vehicles listed out of North Carolina going to Kansas City. We could pick them all up on Saturday. We would be there probably on Tuesday. Could you do...
23.
I don't think I'll do it. 23. I'll do 23 and see what he says.
23. And then you can always come down, but you can never go back up.
True. And usually, this is how I teach my girls how to negotiate. I always say, you ask for more than what you want so you can get them down because they think they're giving you a deal.
That's exactly right. And that is part of throwing the dart and hitting the bullseye.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so we'll just keep looking here just in case he tells me no way. And keep our eyes out for something good because this guy can't haul for the big guys yet, like a Certus, a Rat. Nobody's hauling for. I haven't tried them lately to see if they've changed their policy yet. CarsArrive,
you know what?
90.
Will you do that? Will you see if you can get somebody on the phone that will talk?
Okay.
And see if you can find out, right?
That's fine. Okay.
Because they should, but I don't know. They've stopped talking to me entirely. And you know what? That's fine. I'll see you down the road. I ain't going away.
Let's see what they say. I usually can't even get a hold of them anymore. I have to send them an email. But we'll give her a shot. I'll just call for dispatch and see what they say. Apparently, extension 3 does not work.
Do you like hot coffee or cold coffee? Press 7.
Yeah, hear that? That's what happened.
Alright, well, we're going to go easy. We're all playing in the same playground at the end of the day. So, but please put that on your to-do list.
I will. I'm going to send him an email.
I'm actually glad we didn't reach him because I don't want to get into any kind of snarly tit for tat. All right, there's enough tit for tat in this business. Does anybody have for English? Press 1. See, you know what's funny, Michael? What's happened is for English, it's usually press 2. Or is it? I don't know. I think it changes depending on where you are and who you're calling. Right?
Yeah. No,
sometimes,
right.
like, for English, it's like press 9. Like, really?
Yeah. Like, if you call Copart and IAA, it's press 2 for English.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. And whatever. I'm done on that issue. It's not a real issue. It's just, society. Okay.
I don't know how this guy feels about going up to
Nobody's asked a route question. By the way, I want to make this abundantly clear. Anytime I say something silly like that, everybody is welcome at Auto Transport Intel. That's one of the reasons I created this channel. I know there's a lot of disagreements between dispatchers and carriers and brokers and dealers and shippers, but everybody is welcome at Auto Transport Intel. If you have a question, please post it. We want to help. And you know what? Some people don't like that we welcome everybody, and that's okay. That's what Auto Transport Intel is all about. Let's go back to the board. I haven't seen a lot of requests for routes because there's not a lot of trouble finding vehicles, is there?
No, there's not. I mean, there's, as you can see, I can kind of take my pick here. I'm wanting to send them someplace where I know I can get good loads out of, obviously. And right now, Kansas City to Dallas is paying really well. They're usually $400 a car, which used to be $250 a car. So if I can go to Kansas City, I know I can take them to Dallas. And out of Dallas, there is a plethora of loads as well right now, and they're paying well. So honestly, if you can't get yourself loaded right now, there's a problem. And it doesn't matter if you're signed up with the big guys or not. This guy, DSK, is not signed up with the big guys, but I am moving him just fine with good paying loads. So
there's a 10-minute wait on Ready Logistics. I'm not holding.
Okay, you're fine. Jen just said there's a 10-minute wait on Ready Logistics to get through, and she said she wasn't going to hold.
Well, they're very busy, and I like to. One of the other things, I like to play fair. Okay, so I've had a little bit of fun. So let me say something positive. Ready Logistics works very hard to take care of the Mannheim customers, and that's a lot of customers, and that keeps them very busy. You can see they've been more active on LinkedIn lately than I've seen in the past. So Ready Logistics is a company that we could all strive to be that busy. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't be asking to be signed up with them if I didn't want to be, for sure.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Mean, I've been begging. It's been over 2 years now that they won't take any new drivers on. That tells you something, right there.
Yeah, they're busy. So,
yeah.
What else are we doing? Let's see. So, do you have any other? You have another route where you were still doing? Oh, you're still booking for the Saturday pickup.
Yeah.
And so,
I'm waiting for.
Are we showing? Oh, go ahead.
He'll do $22.50 for me. Perfect. The name of the company is DSK Logistics, out of the Woodlands, Texas.
She got it.
Yeah.
She got the load. She texted. She made an offer, which was, I mean, if they'd just taken it, that would have been good. But then they negotiated a compromise, and that happened through text. You saw it here live on Dispatching Live, and that's exciting. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's do this. Here's what we're going to do. Are you guys familiar with CTS Business Coaching? Here's the information.
Hey guys, Ty, CTS Business Coaching. I connect dealers, auctions, and carriers. If you're a dealer and you're not getting your inventory on the lot in 5 days ready to sell, you've got a problem. It's called interest. Like I'm telling you something you don't know. Give me a call. I can connect you with an auction and a carrier, and you can get your cars on the lot in 5 days or less. 417-483-2764. Thanks and have a great day.
Okay, so what does that have to do with load boards? Well, here's the deal. Once you get comfortable with load boards and being a carrier and talking to brokers, you're going to realize, you know what, I want some of my own customers. I really want to grow this business. That's when you talk to Ty. Ty is talking about connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers. Because you know what? Where do you find cars? Do you find cars on the load board, or do you find cars at the auctions and the dealerships? So when you're ready to talk to Ty, he put his phone number on there, 417-483-2764. Visit ctsbusinesscoaching.com and tune in tomorrow for Cars on the Move every Friday at noon with Ty and Jay. And we do talk to auctions, dealers, and carriers. Sometimes it's just me and him. Sometimes it's really busy. Tune in tomorrow to find out what's going to happen on Cars on the Move. Okay, let's go back to the load board with Sue. We're in our final segment of the day. So you got that Saturday booked, huh?
I got the Saturday book. So we're just going to go, we're going to look out of Kansas City, kind of see what's on here.
Yes, exactly. Okay, pro tip. Once you get something booked, start working on the next leg. Don't wait. Don't go open the champagne and take the rest of the day off. Start checking the next leg.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a good paying load. $700 down to Georgia. It's not ready until the 10th. They might let me have. I doubt that they may have it for Tuesday, because I think it'll be Tuesday by the time he gets there and he takes his.
Right. And so today's Thursday, picking up Tuesday, might be far away. Although that's in Odessa, maybe it's in transit.
Yeah, and well, the only other thing you have to worry about PRA is usually their stuff does not run and drive.
Oh.
So that would be something you would want to
have. Never book an in-op in advance, like far in advance. Because you don't need to.
Load. You're turning the winch, yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, if you need a winch with the rates going right now, this probably needs to be paying more than that. But
exactly.
They're notorious for listing them as run and drives. You call and then they go, oh, it doesn't run and drive, it doesn't have keys, a bunch of stuff. This is good. If somebody's can haul for CarsArrive, my guy can't, but that's paying really well down to Fort Worth right there. And looks like there's some stuff going down to Houston.
Let's see here. We just had, as Michael was pointing out, he's got one spot left. So feel free to, reach out to Michael if you've got some questions. He can help be your dispatcher. He works with Murphy Auto Transport, friend of the show. Thanks for reminding us about that, Michael. That's awesome.
Yes, and Mike's looking for a big car hauler. That's what his spot is for, is like a 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that.
That's cool.
Just so everybody knows, Kansas City changes at the drop of a hat. So even if it doesn't show there's nothing on here right now, there probably will be later.
Which is like Houston, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Anything can
sometimes
happen.
It takes the whole day to get loaded out of one spot. And my rule of thumb is if there's 2 going to the same place, take those. Then wait for your third to come up. Now, that's if you know how this business works and wherever you're sending them is a normal place. Like if there was 2 going down here from Kansas City to Dallas, I know there's going to be more on this load board. So I would take something like that. If there was 2 going to Little Rock on here, I would tell you that you'll see more come up here. If there was 2 going to Nashville on here, I would tell you to see more on here. But if they're in some weird place, don't expect it. Chicago is a pain to get out of Kansas City with, and they don't like to pay even now. So I don't recommend that.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff is long hauls, is what it's kind of looking like to me.
Yeah, Kansas City is, it's straight. This looks a lot like Houston, where nothing goes together.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's see, like, okay, so this one right here, they're not going to give this to me because it's at IAA. If you read right here, it says IAA. They're not going to give me something for Tuesday because I guarantee you they're paying storage on it. So they're wanting to get it out. They probably pay more money than that. Actually, I mean, usually Kansas City to Nashville only pays $300. So $375 is probably decent for right now.
In my experience, booking Tuesday of the next week when it's only Thursday at noon is really hard.
Almost impossible. Yeah.
So it's good to look, but yeah, I wouldn't spend all day on it.
Look, kind of keep an idea of what's out there. And honestly, I don't know if I would book anything because if you get one and they don't give you another one, and you only got one,
oh my
then
God.
you don't really.
And that's the thing too. Okay, so if you book a car days in advance of pickup, you can't cancel. You they will kill you. Do not do that.
Well, you better have a really good experience.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lots of stuff to Texas. And I honestly, I like to go to Austin and San Antonio probably more than I like Dallas.
I loved booking to Texas. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Actually, I called myself Dr. Texas for a while.
Well, it looks like there's plenty of loads down to Dallas right now. There's a double book. These guys double book almost back to back with each other all the time. In Montgomery, Alabama, is really hard to get out of. Just so everybody knows, I don't recommend it. You'll have to probably drive back up to Birmingham to get loaded. Let's see. JMN actually has like a decent packs on here. They don't usually pay that well, and I think they have been because they can't get anybody to move the cars.
Yeah, so the rates are still pretty high. I mean, that Saturday load, that didn't seem like a crazy. Those weren't like extremely high numbers, right? Those were just good numbers.
They were what was it, 70? I think they were at 70 cents a mile.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, that's what it should be, or more. You know,
that should be a normal rate. Truly, honestly, yes, I agree.
I think 80 cents a mile is a reasonable average. You know, like when you're pushing rates to 50 cents a mile, there's something wrong with that. On a hotshot carrier, on a 3 or 4 car, right? You shouldn't have to beg for 50 cents a mile.
Right.
Like this K10, 61 cents a mile.
Yeah.
Dude, in Bakersfield, what are you going to do when you get to Bakersfield? Oh, and actually, it picks up in Moscow Mills. No, man.
Yeah.
I don't like this load. Flag on the play. I don't like it.
And that's actually, Moscow Mills is St. Louis. That's not Kansas City at all. So it's not even 61 cents a mile.
I don't like that.
But it's around the 50 cents a mile range.
It's nothing personal, but I don't like that load. I say go fish.
Well, and look, he's got it listed at LA too, and you know it's really going to Bakersfield. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, that I don't like it when they do that.
I don't
either.
like that. I'll bet you there's
Especially
something else. That's assuming the vehicles are run and drive. What else don't we know?
Right. Well, right. Well, Yellowfin is kind of like that. So,
that stings.
yeah.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I know that I deal with most of all these people on here, so I can usually tell you if they're a good load or not just by looking at it.
I know you do.
Don't get me wrong. I'll call to get the load, but it's usually I'll call you back. We have to check with the customer. I think it's usually U-ship stuff is what it amounts to, where they tell the customer they've already got somebody and they've got it on U-ship and they really don't. That kind of thing.
Or how about, hey, I'm calling about a load on Central, and all they say is, text me your company name. That kills me.
Yeah. There's some stuff going on there to Chicago, but I wouldn't take that. It's too big for hands to go on a 62 straight into Chicago. So,
dang, that's insane. Michael Collar's throwing up the numbers. Michael Collar's raising the roof. What's up?
And see, I don't know what's going on. CarsArrive doesn't usually list this. Somebody's screwed up, or this is another glitch, because this is the exact same car listed twice.
They're the same company.
Yes, AM3 and Roadrunner are the same company. You go with the oddest spot, that's the spot it's really picking up out of those two. Because what they do is Roadrunner listed as a regular run, AM3 listed as off.
Hold on.
Route.
Keep going.
Yeah, I've got an Amber Alert too. Is that what you got? Let's see. Well, anybody going to New Orleans? No, not for that rate. Not to Minnesota for that either. I mean, everything's. I don't think some of these people have clued into the fact that the rates have skyrocketed and they have to play fair if they want their stuff moved here. I personally think 60 cents a mile is a wave of the past for the moment, at least. Let's see. Well, honestly, I guarantee you where I'm probably going to end up sending them is down to Dallas or Austin, would be my guess. And that's paying good, but it's up in Bethany, Missouri, which is way up north. And the other thing you guys have to realize is when this whole central dispatch like mileage thing, like I took one the other day and it said it was only 19 miles away, and when I Googled it, it was 50. So this is like flight miles. This isn't actual drive down the road miles. So just be very careful of that when you're booking loads, that if you think it's closer than it is, it's usually not.
Okay, I just listened to I didn't broadcast it, but I just listened to the Amber Alert. You're never going to believe what it is. It has nothing to do with what we would assume, by the way. Which is how, man, isn't that, and that just sums up what's happening in the world today. It was apparently it was a female. She picked up 2 young kids, and she might be associated with the daddy, but she doesn't have custodial rights. And I guess there was maybe an assault on the mother at the time. So it sounds like dad's girlfriend bagged the kids, and then they said that they think that maybe they're headed to Mexico. So there you go. So, what does that have to do with load boards, Jay? I don't know. Flag on the plane.
That explains it.
Up the distance to the goal. Repeat first downs. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. You know, I don't think we've ever done a show where nobody requested a route. That's how many loads are out there.
Yeah, that's true.
That is amazing. Hey, you know what? I want to get back to Bluebird. Hopefully Bluebird is still here. Bluebird wanted to talk about brokering. Sue, can we talk about brokering for a minute, and then we're gonna maybe we'll wrap up the show in 10 or 15 minutes. Sue, let's talk about brokering.
Okay, so is she just a transporter, you think, or she's both?
It's a good question. I think when some people get into the business, they are, they're looking at everything, which is kind of what we talk about. But I have a feeling that she's asking questions from the point of view of, I want to get into brokering, right? How would you, like, here we talk about getting into dispatching. What would you say if someone said, I'm thinking about getting into brokering? What do I do?
Well, first you want to go get your MC authority, which I always use Rex for everything, which is evil for, how do you pronounce that?
Right, evil sizer. So here, let's do this. I'm going to take control of the screen, okay? And I'm going to share some, let's see here. Let's do, okay. First of all, as we explore this brokering stuff, we are talking to Sue at Murphy Auto Transport Services. So what you're about to hear is Sue talking about some beginning brokering steps. And I just want to make you aware that you can go to Murphy Auto Transport Services if you want to continue this conversation. Sue said first you want to go to Evil Sizer, right? evilsizer.co. And you can, so what were you going to say? What do you do at Evil Sizer?
Well, you get signed up and get your MC authority, and he'll get it for you right away. However, you're not technically legal for, I think it's 20 days. You better figure 30.
Yeah, 20-ish, yeah.
And so you want to get that started. Then you need to get a hold of a broker bond company. I use J Surety Bonds because you got to have a broker bond. That's your other step.
What is it? What did you say? J what?
J Surety Bonds, I think is the name of it.
Say it one more time.
J Surety Bonds.
J
is
okay. J Surety Bonds.
Oh,
JW Surety Bonds.
So I think that's what it was.
Okay.
Yep, I think that's.
Okay.
That's
so you need your broker's license, or you need your MC authority.
Yep. And then you may have to have a license depending on where you what city you live in. They all have different rules. Where I live, it's not required to have a business license.
Oh, a business license. Okay.
Yeah. And you may want to incorporate. That's all kind of up to you. I would recommend not incorporating in the very beginning, not until you have some cash flow coming in, because you can incorporate anytime you want. So the broker bond is probably going to be your most expensive thing. It's based on your credit, and what they do is, because you have to have a $75,000 surety bond. Okay, some people put up the whole cash and they keep it with the surety company. You do not have to do that. There are other ways around it. What they do is they combine several brokers onto one bond is what they do, and you pay them X amount of money to pay depending on your credit and how long you've been in business. So it all just depends on that. I usually pay around $1,000 a year for mine. So it used to be almost $4,000 a year when the whole 75,000 rolled into it happened. And then I switched companies and I found a different company that was willing to do it a lot cheaper. So that'll kind of tell you what you got to have as far as money wise to get started. Other than that, you want to have, you'll get a central dispatch account. The minimum you pay is $129.95, I think, a month, and you can only list 30 cars a month on that. For most people, that's not going to be enough, because as we all know, 30 cars a month is usually not going to cover your expenses. So your next level up, I think, is $259 a month, and it's like 250 listings. So that would be more than enough for your smaller broker. I would suggest that. Other than that, you need a computer, an internet, and a phone. And then depending on, you can buy leads, you can go out and make your own leads. It's about marketing, if that's what you're wanting to do. I'll be honest, I don't do any of that. I've just been in business so long that a lot of my customers are just my customers, and then they hand my name out to everybody. So I do not buy leads or anything like that. So that's also a reason why some brokers charge more broker fees than what I do. My average broker fee is $50. Is all I charge my customer.
Have you seen this Move Cars? Have you seen this MoveCars.com?
I have seen it, but I haven't really looked at it.
It's interesting. It's by Dealer Track, which is owned by Cox, so it's really interesting. I like this information. You know, we're going to talk more about this because this is. I like how you're just knocking off bullet points. I know it's not easy, and that's really what I wanted to arrive at is that. What's it like being a new broker? It sounds hard.
I think it would be hard, honestly, because it's not just the setup. Because the setup is easy, you know what I mean. But you got to have cash flow. So to get the cash flow, you're going to either have to go out and market yourself, go contact and see. Where back in the day, dealerships didn't list their own cars. Now they do. So you can't just walk into a dealership and say, "Hey, I'll be your broker." Most of them are going to say, "I've got this guy that does it here in this office," and they're going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How would you? How
they don't want to pay a fee.
So the only way, really, in the beginning, is to buy leads, right? And you're fighting the competition that's already got all these years' experience on you, man. That sounds tough.
Well, and then when you buy leads, it's like, you know, you pay so much per lead, and they only sell them to so many people. So the cheaper they get, the more people they've sold them to. So you're in competition with 10 to 20 brokers that have that same lead. So you either got to undercut them, which in the essence may undercut yourself. It's hard. I would say it's really hard to get started doing this. Honestly,
it'd be like saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to go be a real estate agent.
Right.
Well, how many of those are?
You got to go out and market. Right.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think selling real estate might be easier than being a broker.
Right.
Because
maybe not right now.
I mean, honestly, well, I don't know.
And that's it.
Houses selling.
Is that right? Good. That's good. That's really good news. You know, and I want to say this too. I'm not trying to discourage anybody. It just, the reality is it does sound hard. But everybody's got to do something, so it's really interesting.
If I was going to do it, I would probably do both like what I do. And the main reason is okay, so this is the way I always look at it. I have a dispatch service and I have my brokering service. If one is slow, the other one is usually high. So it compensates, it's you know, it evens it out in the end, because you got one maybe slow that week, the other one's really high, and you're going to still make the same amount of money because you got both cash flows coming in. But once again, being a dispatcher is a skill. I know a lot of people think it isn't, but it is. It takes a lot of work to figure this out, to learn it, to have the knowledge of making sure you put the right cars on and you deal with the right people and making sure you're verifying everything. It's a lot of work. It's probably a lot more work than doing freight in all reality, because freight, you know, it's like one load and they're done and they're going there. It's probably hard. That's probably more for the driver because they got to be there at certain times, you know, stuff like that, to unload and reload and have the people that unload the trucks and load the trucks and that kind of thing. So both are a lot of work, and both are going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort to get yourself up to where you can make an income for yourself. We deal with brokers all the time that never answer the phone because I think they have other jobs, to be honest with you. And it's usually like the guys that want you to text and stuff like that, or they'll say they'll send a load to you when they get home that night. It's because they have other jobs. Because in all reality, can you do that with 10 loads a week? No, you couldn't survive on 10 loads a week. You know what I mean?
Well,
even if you were charging $10 a car.
No, you make a really good point, which is why that's the problem with dispatching. You can't really be a part-time dispatcher, although you wish you could.
Yeah. No, dispatching is more than one job. It's almost two. So, because you're sometimes working till 8, 9 o'clock at night even.
FNS is asking, how many spots does each dispatcher have?
I usually give each dispatcher 4 to 5, and it all depends on how many cars they haul. Yep. If I had somebody that had, 10 car haulers, I'd probably only give them 4. If I had someone that had only 3 car haulers, they would definitely have 5. me and Jen usually can handle anywhere between 6 to 7, but that's because we're used to doing it, and
that's right.
We got the flow down.
I was doing 7, and I mean I was really really busy, but I was doing 7. But
7 is hard.
It is. It's really hard. It is hard.
You're like boom, 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 like you're going from one thing to the next, and you don't always remember what you're supposed to do for the last guy.
And what I was doing is I was booking for 7, and then at the end of the day, I'd enter all the data.
Right.
And I'd finish my day with those. But it was kind of freaky. I didn't like it.
No, I think that's too much. In all honesty, too, this is the way I look at it, too. If you are spread too thin, you're not going to get the best loads for the driver. And I would rather have the drivers make more money if we had 4 drivers than to have 7 drivers making meet-a-core money. You know what I mean?
It's
all about the more money they make, the more money we make. And if you have 5 drivers making, we'll say, $50,000 in a week's time, which that's not legit unless they're $10.
Well, here's another pro tip. Here's a tip for the carrier. Don't take up your dispatcher's time. Let them work. Talk to them. Bada bing, bada bing, bada boom. Cool. Sounds good. Talk to you later.
Well, and don't get me wrong. I got the guys that want to call and chit chat, but I usually do it in the evening. Now we've got a couple that don't allow that. That's why Jen's laughing.
Is Jen spilling her hot wine everywhere? Yes.
Yes. Because we have a guy that literally calls in every 30 minutes just to chit chat.
It's hard. It is. It's really hard. It actually makes the job. So kudos to you, Jen, because I know what that's like. It's hard. You want to be there, but your phone's ringing. You got to get it's tough.
Well, seeing Mark's been with us for 6 years, so he knows. She'll just say, "Hey, I gotta go," and she just hangs up.
There you go.
So he gets it. He knows what we're doing. So.
Totally. That's good. That sounds like a great relationship. Well, this is a family business, and it's fun to feel like you got that bond, just like in any team situation. A dispatcher should be part of your team.
Right.
And you want to feel that. You want to feel that teamness.
And that's what we do here. Like, we all may have our own drivers, but if we're on the phone with the one that we're taking, and we see another car come up for another driver, we yell across the room and say, "Hey, come get this load for me."
Right.
And that's what we do with each other, back and forth.
That's right.
And usually what I do is I try to keep everybody's boards up. So if I see something that I know that one of the drivers is in, I'll say, "Hey, do you have a spot left?" And I'll take it for that person, that kind of thing too. So we're always all watching each other's backs.
It's awesome. Go to your, you have a team tab. Go to the team. I just went to the team tab. Good call, Michael. Murphy Dispatch Team, our background communication. Look at this. Hey, that's cool. Nice. Now, that's a good team tab. Right? That's awesome, man. Good call, Michael. That's great stuff.
And Michael's on the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, this is Michael. Michael Culler right there. Michael Culler. Cool. And here's Sue.
Sue, Jen, Janice, Tammy, Colleen, and I don't have the new girl on here. I got to add her. She's Tabitha. That's Nick, and that's Mike.
Cool. That is super cool, man. If you need help, I highly encourage you to visit MurphyAutoTransportServices.com. Sue is a friend of the show. We go live every Thursday at noon. This is a 90-minute show, and we appreciate you joining us today. So, hey, Sue, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for your time and contribution.
No problem. I had a fun day today.
Yeah, it's fun every time. That's what's cool.
Yeah.
It is. It is. It's fun. It's fun. It's informative. And we really appreciate people tuning in. Listen, if you enjoyed today's show, please send a like. Got a question for Sue? Go to Murphy Auto Transport Services. Sue, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to wind out the show, and we'll be in touch.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, Sue. All right. See ya. Okay, and then I ended that meeting. Bada bing, bada boom. I let Sue go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in for another Dispatching Live on Auto Transport Intel. I know it's not a conventional program. These are not conventional times. But in the pursuit of knowledge, we got to keep it fresh. It's like that traffic school. Nobody wants to go to traffic school, and then you go, and the teacher is like, he's a little wacky, and you get the information, it keeps your attention. You're like, wow, that was way better than I thought it was going to be. That sums it up for Dispatching Live. I hope. I'm Jay, your host. Auto Transport Intel is the channel. I go live 4 times a week. Please do tune in for Cars on the Move tomorrow at noon with Ty and Jay, where we're talking about connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers. Bring your questions and buckle in, guys. Stay safe out there. Thank you so much. Got a question? Need help? Want to recommend something? autotransportintel@gmail.com. That's my email. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Bridget, Luis, Michael, Exotic, Carlos, everybody else in the live chat. If I didn't mention you, Bluebird, FNS, Ranny. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. And I'll be seeing you soon. You guys take care. And thank you.